Good evening, everyone. Avram told me to go like this. On behalf of the board of Veahavta, I would like to welcome you all to Starry Nights. I'd like to recognize and express our deep appreciation for the sponsors tonight, beginning with our presenting sponsor, Mel Cohen and Distributel. Mel has been a major supporter of Veahavta for 3 years now. He has supported specific programs and sponsored 8 trips to Africa. We're grateful for your tremendous support. Please refer to our program book for the names of our other very honored sponsors. Thank you. I would also like to thank our wonderful staff whose efforts tonight and whose efforts every day are full of sincerity and commitment to this organization. Karel Zaretsky, Katie Stemeroff, Lauren Opler, Rebecca Stolberg, Barbara Morton, Becky Stolberg, Shai Abraham, Diane Douglas, Karen Levy, Huva Odenheimer, and of course Geoffrey Clarfield, our co-executive director, whose role has increased dramatically over the past couple of months. Special thanks is due also to the co-chairs of Starry Night, Bruce Cowley and Rick Eckstein. Rick, if you want to stand up. Bruce. They've dedicated months of their talents and time to ensure of tonight's success. They and their committees, the board members, the volunteers, too numerous to count, have logged more hours than any of them would care to admit. We thank them for their work, for their commitment, and for tonight's success. I would also like to give special thanks to Alvaro and Boris Castellanos of My Corporate Fiesta, our event consultants for the past 2 years, absolutely, who've gone beyond any reasonable expectations and their heartfelt efforts for tonight. Finally, I have to make mention of my dear friend and our executive director, Avram Rosenzweig, who's the founder of this organization. He dreamed of an organization dedicated to the cause of Tikun Olam, to repairing the world. It is Avram's vision and leadership that have led us here tonight. It has enabled a medical research team in Africa to bring us one step closer to dealing with AIDS. It's brought a warm meal, a conversation, and a dose of respect to countless homeless people in Toronto. And it's provided educational services to rural communities in Tanzania. On behalf of everyone here tonight, on behalf of all of our volunteers around the world, and on behalf of each person whose life has been made better, we're overjoyed to see you here tonight and extend you a speedy recovery and a refuah shalema. Yesterday in synagogue, we read Parsha, or the section of the Torah known as Vayera. Exactly 35 years ago, I was a nervous 13-year-old at my bar mitzvah. As far as I can tell, the only people who were there who are here tonight are my mother and my sisters, and I was tempted to read my bar mitzvah speech. But instead, I'd just like to say a few words about the Parsha in the context of Veahavta. Parshat Vayera begins with God speaking with Abraham. Three strangers approach his tent. Abraham excuses himself from his conversation with his Creator in order to welcome the strangers and tend to their needs. From this, we learn that personal interaction, a kind word, and the offering of welcome is as significant an act of improving the world as any other. The Talmud in the book of Shabbat explains Abraham's actions in this portion by teaching that hospitality towards guests is greater even than receiving the divine presence. For those of you who have volunteered with any of our programs, you've come face to face with someone who is most likely less fortunate than you. And while you may have provided this person with food, clothing, medicine, or help with their homework, I'm certain that what both of you and the recipient remember most is the interaction and the realization that as different as the two of you may be, each of you walk with your own dignity. Parshat Vayera also contains the story of God's plans for the destruction of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. Despite the morality of the people of these cities, Abraham wanted to prevent their demise, so he negotiates with God. First he asks them to spare the cities if he can find 50 righteous people living there. And eventually he works his way down to saving the cities for the sake of only 10 righteous people. Again, the importance of Tikun Olam is evident. We learn that our efforts can be on behalf of the individual or on behalf of large groups or cities or nations. We learn that Tikun Olam can be attempted even when the odds are stacked against us. And we learn that we have an obligation to improve the world for others, even if their values or their lifestyles are different than ours. These are the roots of Veahavta's mission. Everyone here has the ability and indeed the obligation to make the world better in some way. Doing humanitarian work in different parts of the world can be difficult. It takes time, money, and determination to overcome obstacles. For example, on the international scene, Israeli and Jewish organizations, including ourselves, undertake major rescue and medical operations in the face of extraordinary anti-Semitism, most prominently displayed at Durban and soon to be repeated at Durban too. Often their work is done without thanks or recognition. But we learn from Abraham that Tikun Olam is important, not as a means to receive praise from others, but because it is the right thing to do. And there's power in carrying the knowledge within us that we have done the right thing. By coming here tonight, each of you has recognized the need to reach out beyond our community and to make the world a better place. Many of you have participated in our programs, either as volunteers or as donors. Many of you have donated medicine and medical supplies. You have funded the purchase of these products, or you have funded the participation in specific projects. In whatever way you have chosen to play a part, we all thank you. Tonight's goal is twofold. We want to honor the work of those that has been started, to celebrate some of the heroes amongst us. In addition, we want to encourage all of you to participate in its completion in any way you can. Each of us has the ability for heroism in some way. We need people not only to donate money, but also to roll up their sleeves and participate. I would also add that we welcome new programming ideas. We're looking for volunteers at all levels, including board members. There are sign-up cards on tables outside, and we hope that many of you will fill these out. This is going to be a remarkable evening. I am sure you will be moved by our keynote speaker, Mariane Pearl, who personifies the power of the human spirit in adversity. I'm sure you will be inspired by the stories of the recipients of our Tikun Olam Awards to 7 agents of change, each of whom is doing his or her part to repair the world in a significant way. Please take the time to visit our exhibits to learn more about us, and please be sure to partake in the many special activities tonight. I wish you all mazel tov, and thank you for coming, and I'd like to turn the podium over to Geoffrey Klarfeld, our Executive Director.